Hi, welcome on channel Rishito KC, Solution, Where Are You? Today I will be speaking about lies of materialistic worldview. So people say, I know there is no soul, I know there is no spirit, I know there is no God and there is no judgment. So you are free to do whatever you want to. And religion is just for stupid people, but we are smart. And this sounds intelligent, loving, truthful. Now the question arises, how do you know that there is no God? See, if you would know half of everything, for example, how many hairs did I have yesterday, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, okay? If you would know half of everything, could not God be in the other half you don't know? And think about how much do you really know? 0.00, I don't know how many zeros, 1% of everything. But let's go on. If you would know 90% of everything, could not God be in those 10% you don't know? And if you would know 99% of everything, could not God be in 1% you don't know? Of course, He could be there. Now the bottom point here is that in order that someone claims that he knows that there is no God, he has to know everything. And he has to understand everything. And how would you call a being who knows everything? Is not that God? You see, people who claim that they know that there is no God are telling in between lines that they themselves are God. Now, it is either that their logic is messed up, or that they are willingly lying, deceiving themselves and others. Materialistic worldview promises people freedom. You have free will to do whatever you want to, they say. Now let me remind you that in materialistic worldview, you are matter. Okay. Now we have stone, we throw stone and it bounces. And it might seem that it has free will, but it doesn't have any free will. It is under complete control of material laws, or spiritual laws, or laws of nature. And so it is with you, because you are matter. You don't have any free will. Now this is shocking. Have you noticed lie here? To people, it is promised freedom to do whatever they want to. But when you go deeper, you realize that they are completely in bondage. There is no free will. Even the things which they want are determined in advance. So that's a huge lie. If someone will tell you, yeah, I will set you free, and he would put you in bondage, you would be shocked. But when people hear those things, they just go, oh, yeah, I don't mind. You don't mind. Oh, it's your life. Some people might say this cannot be because we feel and we think. Well, all those things are only electrical and chemical reactions in your brains. We can compare that with the lake. Lake, its surface reflects its surroundings in a distorted way. And similarly as lake reflects its surroundings, you reflect your surroundings, reality. Okay? Reality comes into your brains through senses in a distorted way, and there it is distorted. And then, you open your mouth, you start to speak, you start to write, and all those things come out in a distorted way. So what you consider Intelligence is just distortion of reality. In materialistic worldview, you are dead matter. That's all what you are. Now, but they speak about life. So what is life? Well, there are a couple of definitions they use. For example, this one, something comes into existence, it grows, it develops, it can multiply, and then it decays and ceases to exist. That's life. Humans are alive. Animals are alive, plants are alive, bacteria are alive, viruses, some say they are alive, and states are alive, companies are alive, and for majority of people, companies are worth more than people, more than you. People are prepared to sacrifice human lives for the sake of company, which is also alive, according to materialistic worldview definition. Now, when you are reading story in a book, okay, all those heroes come into your head, into your brain, and they live there, okay. They develop, they spread themselves. When you speak about them, they spread themselves, and in the end, they cease to exist. So they are alive too. Crystal is alive. It comes into existence, it grows, it interacts with its surroundings. If it's broken, it can multiply, and it can be destroyed. So crystal is alive. And piece of shit is also alive. It has bacteria there, and so on and so forth. Maybe also some crystals. So piece of shit is alive, and you are alive too. Now, in some cases, in materialistic worldview, piece of shit is worth even more than you are worth. In some kind of spirituality, people even say that piece of shit is very useful thing, for plants and so on. But human being is worthless. But let us continue with materialistic worldview. Now, Monty Python had a song. I consider that song to be positive, and many people even today consider that song to be positive. The title of that song is Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. And the song goes like this. Always look on the bright side of life, la 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 la. Life is piece of shit when you look at it. Think about that. So this materialistic worldview is lying, deceiving, not loving, and it is against life. The materialistic worldview is being supported by materialistic spirituality. What is materialistic spirituality? Priests or pastors, I don't know how I would call them. Priests, yes. Or pastors. They say we cannot know if God exists and who is God, what is God. We cannot know that. See? And in that way, people stay in materialistic worldview. Okay. They also call themselves theologians, which theos means God, and logian, the one who knows God. Okay, they call themselves like that. But in reality, they are saying that they don't know God. So they are lying. Why don't they call themselves, the ones who don't know God? Okay, we studied all our lives about God, but we don't know God. Okay, that would be honest. But no, they say we are the ones who know God, and when you listen to them, well, we don't know if God exists, and we cannot know who is God, what is God. And in that way, as I've said, people stay in materialistic worldview, and they have problems, and they cause problems also to others. And that is very good for economy, strong economy. And strong economy is what people in materialistic worldview desire. Okay, they desire everything what money can buy. And they are prepared to sacrifice others and sometimes even themselves for that. Now, some people imagine that they can do good things, in this system. Well, if you think so, you cannot do good things. What is good? Remember, there is no judgment. And if there is no judgment, there is no criteria of good and bad or evil. Okay? So, how can you say, well, I did something good? But here is not the end of the story, you see. This system is completely lying, deceiving. There is judgment in this system. Evolution. What is good in evolution? Is it good to help ill people, to cure them, to give people antibiotics? No, that is bad. Is it good to help people who are not so bright? We would say dumb people. No, that is bad, because such people would multiply and then all population would be dumb. So this is bad. To help weak ones, ill ones, people who are not so bright as majority is, it is bad to help them. But it is good to cheat them, to steal things from them, to rape them, to kill them. That is good in materialistic worldview. Now, are you doing those things? Then you are doing good thing in materialistic worldview. But if you are doing nice things to people, and you think, well, I'm doing nice things to people, well, that is not good in materialistic worldview. But is it good that in a spiritual worldview? Now, what are you doing? You entertain people, and you are dealing with the consequences, and you don't mention them, the root cause of all their problems. You are stealing from people their precious time. You are robbing them the opportunity to find out the truth. Okay, because there exists soul, there is God, and I can show you that there is also judgment. Okay, and you are robbing them the opportunity that they would prepare themselves for that. Thanks to you, they stay in materialistic worldview, in lying, unloving, deceiving system, and this system grows thanks to you. Okay, because you are quiet about the real issue here. Is that good? What do you consider here to be good? So that was all for today. I hope you learned something new. I hope I will prepare some new videos about spiritual things, about lying, deceiving spirituality, and the true spirituality. So till next time, take care and bye-bye.